Welcome to Mkidi Studios.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, thank you so much for being on The Explainer tonight. Mr. Gachagua, when we announced that we were having this interview, we received overwhelming feedback from many Kenyans, including those on social media, and many asked why we are talking to a tribalist tonight.
Thank you, Yvonne. First and foremost, welcome to my home. I've lived here for the last 30 years, and I'm happy to have you here. In fact, it's the day I've looked forward to have an interview with you. I'm your great admirer. And when you signed my visitor's book as Yvonne, it confirms that Riggy G, the man from the village, is getting a little bit more sophisticated. Because all my life I've had Josephine, Agnes, Purity, Mercy. Yvonne is sophistication. Welcome. Narratives are created in this country. And my former boss, William Ruto, is a master of narratives. He's very good. And when he's okay with you and you are friends, he says nice things about you. When I and him were getting along, when I was assisting to be president, he had very kind words about Rigathi Gachagua, a great mobilizer, a people's man, a great strategist, a man who loves the people, a man who cares about the people issues. But the minute we fell out, he labeled me as a tribalist. And it's something that he has been preaching in every meeting so that he can justify to the people of Kenya why, after I helped to make him president, he hounded me out of office. He had to create a narrative because he had to come with something that can sell. Yvonne, the man before you, is a great nationalist. He's a man who loves Kenya, who has never uttered anything negative against another community. He loves his community, yes, but that does not mean he hates other communities. I would challenge anybody with a single utterance that Rigathi Gachagua has ever made against another community. And if you want to know that this man is a nationalist, against all odds, when Uhuru Kenyatta, my kinsman and my former boss, wanted me to support Raila Odinga, and he is my kinsman, had I been tribal, I would have listened to Uhuru Kenyatta. I went ahead to support William Ruto. When I supported William Ruto, I knew he's not a Kikuyu, he's not Embu, he's not Meru, he's a Kalenjin. But I did support him. And my community, the one that I had, supported him to a man. In fact, we gave him 87% of our votes. And the other 13%, there was another guy from Kikuyuni called Mwaura. We didn't give him the 13%. We gave 13% to Raila Odinga alone. That tells you that Rigathi Gachagua and his people are not tribal. William Ruto and his community, how many votes did they give Raila Odinga? None. All their votes went to their man, their kinsman. But us, we gave 13% to Aluo, we gave 87% to a Kalenjin. And it's not that we did not know. We were quite conscious that they don't speak our language.
Mr. Gachagua, the people who are calling you a tribalist and those who are calling you an ethnic extremist are Kenyans. So I'm talking about the feedback that viewers, ordinary Kenyans from all walks of life,
of course, because
are
the narrative
saying,
has been driven.
Yeah, so this is not the president speaking. These are Kenyans who are saying this.
I am saying the narrative has been driven and perpetuated by William Ruto and his supporters, who are unhappy that I don't support him anymore, since they have nothing else against me. I'm a man of incredible integrity. I'm a man with proven track record of performance. They have nothing else they can say against Rigathi Gachagua.
What's up, my good and awesome, amazing people to Mkidi Studios. Manzi, ndo mimi manzi. So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
So William Ruto and his supporters, they are the ones you are calling Kenyans. So they are Kenyans, yes. They are the ones who drive that narrative. But I challenge.
Those are President William Ruto's supporters,
Yes,
those who
yes.
say that?
Yes, they
Is
are
that your
supporters.
contention
They are
tonight?
his supporters. They are the Ndwales of this world, the Oscar Sudis of this world, the Farouk Kibets of this world. These are President William Ruto supporters. And their beef with me, when I was supporting William Ruto, they had very kind words for me. They were saying I'm the best guy they have ever met, a nationalist, a patriot. But when we parted ways and I decided to shift my support from him to elsewhere, the only thing they can do is call me a tribalist. I would like to challenge William Ruto and his cronies to produce a single video in this country, Rigathi Gachagua making remarks that are negative against another community.
Okay. I want to give some context to what some of your critics say. You've just returned from the United States, where you were there for about a month and a half.
Yes.
And you addressed people from Mount Kenya. From your itinerary, we also noted that you met people from other communities as well.
Yes, I did.
Kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. This is how we do it.
The Kisis in Minnesota.
Yes, I did.
We're told also you met the Kambas in
Yes.
Washington, D.C.
Yes, I did.
And I'm not sure, but the Somalis also?
Yes, I did.
You met them?
Yes.
I'm not sure where that was. But Mr. Gachagua, some would ask then, why are you comfortable meeting Kenyans along tribal lines as opposed to their nationality?
Yvonne, there are no Kenyans who sit somewhere as Kenyans. If you go to the United States, people have community organizations that were not established by Riggy G. I've not been to America for a long time. But when you go to America, you find the people from the mountain have their own organization. The Abagusi have their own organization. The Ma have their own organization. The Kamba people have their own organization. The Mlembe nation have their own organization. And let me tell you, Yvonne, let people not pretend that communities don't sit together and talk the same language. God, in his own wisdom, created people with an identical language. And people tend to congregate around each other to discuss their issues. So when the Abagusi community invites me to address them in the United States, do I tell them I cannot meet you until you call the Kambas and you call the Maasais and you call the
Why
others?
not? Why not, Mr. Gachagua?
Why should I?
Why not meet them as a group of Kenyans,
But I'm
as
asking.
nationalists,
But I'm asking.
as patriots?
But I'm asking,
So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
attend those meetings by invitation. You don't go to arrange people how to invite you. You own an invitation. If the Abagusi people say, come, first and foremost, I went to Baltimore, and the Abagusi people said, tomorrow is Sabbath day. Can you come and join us in church? I did. And when I was there in church, there was an interpreter. The preacher of the day was preaching in English, but there was interpreter in Abagusi, because those people speak their language. And by the way, Yvonne, let nobody feel embarrassed about speaking the language. Even the preamble of the Constitution acknowledges the ethnic diversity of the Kenyan nation and why people must be proud of where they come from. And that is why you find the Abagusi are in a church in Baltimore, and there is an interpreter to interpret the sermon in the Kisii language. That is the nature of the Kenyan nation.
Mr.
And there's nothing
Gachagua.
Riggy G can do about it.
Mr. Gachagua, you are I imagine you think of yourself as a national leader.
Yes, I am.
You are the former deputy president of the entire Republic of
Yes,
Kenya.
yes.
As a leader, you say, you get an invitation. But even after all of that, as a national leader, do you not think you have the influence to speak to people and say
but I'm not doing
that I'd
anything.
like to meet all of you as Kenyans? Because in as much as people organize based on where they come from and the language they speak,
I met
that is
Kenyans.
fair. Mr. Gachagua?
Sorry.
In as much as people speak the languages they do and come from the regions that they do, but there are some common shared national problems that they would have. Why not organize them or congregate them as Kenyans and then listen to their collective issues,
In fact-
which you can then try to seek to address?
That's exactly
So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
what we did. I had two types of meetings. I had town hall meetings for all Kenyans. across 4 communities. Then there were communities that invited me for meetings to discuss issues that are unique to those communities. Because communities are not, they have their own unique issues that do not transcend across the country. And I want to ask you a question. No, I don't want to ask you, I don't want to ask you the question. But let me point out, last week, William Ruto met the Abagusi community in State House. The Kambas were not there. The Luyas were not there. Nobody asked a question. Tomorrow.
Mr. Gachagua.
No, I'm asking.
Mr. Gachagua.
I'm just saying.
Allow me to interject.
Yeah.
I'm speaking with Mr. Gachagua tonight.
No, I know. I'm just giving
not with
an
President
example.
William Ruto.
I'm just giving an example.
Perhaps when we get to interview him,
I'm
we
just
could
giving
pose
an
the same
example, Yvonne,
questions.
that this thing happens everywhere. Tomorrow morning, the president is meeting 5,000 people from Kiambu. The people from Machakos are not there.
So because he does it, then that makes it okay?
Because they are coming to discuss issues that are unique to that region. Okay? So when I went to the United States, I had town hall meetings for all Kenyans put together. And they were full, packed. And we discussed issues to do with Kenya. On the sidelines, community-based organizations in the United States invited me to engage with them about their own issues, their own culture, their own traditions. There are things that do not transcend alongside all communities. When I went to Seattle, I was invited for the Gemi Festival. The Gemi Festival is a musical concert for the Kikuyu nation to dance and sing their songs that are unique to them.
So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
I would not have invited other people to come and join in the Gemi Festival because those were Kikuyu songs, people celebrating their culture, their identity, and loving it and singing all the way. But there is no one time I refused to engage all Kenyans. In all my meetings, in all the 7 states I went, I had a good town hall meeting with Kenyans across the board.
All right. A member of the audience, across of those that you met at the United States, even put this very concern to you. I want us to watch this clip together. One of the ladies who was in the audience said that you are positioning yourself more as a tribal chief than a national leader. Mr. Gachagua, let's watch what she had to say. All right, we had a technical issue. We want to fix the sound and make sure that we can all hear that, both you, Mr. Gachagua, and those who are watching us at this moment. And I think she was referring to everything that had been happening with the young people in this country and perhaps how you were addressing the various communities in there. Let's see if we can get that in just a moment. So let's we'll come back to that in a moment.
You also play my reply as well.
Well, we're here, so we can hear your reply.
No, it's also good to see what I told her.
But now that, yes, we've seen that. But now that we're here, we're live with you. We will hear the response from you. Let's fix that clip and we'll come back to it in a moment. Now, you may be unapologetic about positioning yourself as a champion of regional interests. But as a person who started off as Kenya Kwanza, Kenya First, are you not concerned that you're now Mount Kenya First, Mount Kenya Kwanza?
I am a Kenyan and I champion the interests of Kenyans. But I do come from somewhere. And those people are Kenyans too. And their interests are also important. And doesn't mean that because I come from there, I should not articulate their interests. I must articulate their interests because I come from there. Much as I articulate the interests of all Kenyans, the people of that region are Kenyans too. And they have their interests, like all other Kenyans. And I'm not alone. All other leaders from other regions articulate the interests of where they come from. It only becomes an issue when the region I come from has issues they want articulated. I have had the Speaker of the National Assembly. I have had the Prime Cabinet Secretary championing the interests of the Western region. I've never had somebody tell them that that is tribal. I have had Aden Duale and the people from the northern Kenya articulating the interests of the people of those regions. And it is right. There is nothing wrong. I support it myself. I've never had anybody tell them it is wrong. You know, I have had people from the Lake region talking about their issues. about the issues of fish, about the issues of how to make sense and to make money out of Lake Victoria. I've never had anybody had an issue. Every region, Yvonne, has unique issues that sometimes do not reflect to other regions. And they need to be articulated by
So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
the people of those regions.
Mr. Gachagua, are you Mount Kenya first?
I'm Kenya first, but I come from Mount Kenya. Because at the end of it all, Yvonne, today you are here interviewing me. When you leave here, you go back home. You are not going to stay here forever. You are here articulating national issues. You are here interviewing me. You are here doing a job. But when you finish your job, you go back home. Same with Rigathi Gachagua. I am here in Nairobi. I was in the United States articulating issues to do with this country. I'm here fighting for the interests of the Kenyan people. But on Saturday, I'll go to Amunyoro. And when I go to Amunyoro, I must listen to what the people of Amunyoro are saying because they too are Kenyans.
All right. I want us to, I think we've now sorted out that issue because that may be a narrative that does not necessarily relate with the young people or the Gen Z of this nation. Let's listen.
You need, Mheshimiwa, to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many people won't like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. The first mistake that has been done in this event is speaking Kikuyu. I watched a speech about you in Boston, and the speech was a good speech, but there's something you said that Kikuyus tuko economic, are more hardworking, paraphrasing, economic, we've grown the country. But we have done that because we are a beneficiary of the system of Jomo Kenyatta.
Are you able to put my reply?
Please do that here live now.
I was very happy with that young girl. To start with, my forums were not a praise and worship session. I didn't want people to come and praise and worship me and agree with me 100%. I was very happy to have negative criticism and had an opportunity to explain to the young girl that when I speak to people, my work is to give them hope and to give them encouragement. When I met some Mount Kenya people in Boston, they are business people there, I had to affirm them and say what is their place in our growth of our economy.
What do you think is the place of the Mount Kenya people in the economy?
They are hardworking. I said you people are hardworking. You are industrious. You are central in the Kenyan economy. And I'm very happy that the same industry I see back home is what I see here in Boston. And you must continue with that spirit. Those people who I met in Boston were from the Mount Kenya. I speak their language. I had no business speaking to them in English because I was in Boston. The fact that I was in Boston did not make me English. I was still Kikuyu. They were all Kikuyus. They had called me for a boozy in a traditional way because I'm an elder. And they said, we have an organization here from home. We want you to come as an elder. We give you boozy. And when I rose to speak to them, I spoke to them in our language. And I just talked to them about industry, about working hard. And I was very happy with what they are doing. And I told them even back at home, this community is hardworking and it plays a very central role in the economic development of our country. I didn't say that others don't work hard. I didn't say others are not important. And Yvonne, even you are an anchor. When I speak to you as a leader, I must affirm you. I must say, Yvonne, you are a good presenter. I must encourage you to continue.
Well, it's not necessary, Mr. Gachagua, but be that as it may, I want us to, the affirmation is not necessary. But I think the question is, do you understand that is a genuine view of young people who are calling themselves tribalists and leaderless? Your defense is well appreciated, but do you hear that the young people may not want this and may see you in this way?
What I told that young girl, if you had played my answer, is that her age mates back home are my fans. They understand me and they know me and they love me. Are all
of them your fans?
Many of them are my fans.
And the ones who are not your fans, how do you address the issue that they have with that?
All of them don't have to be my fans. I persuade the ones who want to be my fans. And the ones who are not willing to be my fans, I persuade them to be my fans.
Okay, so the
But
ones who
said,
say, the young people who say you are tribalist, you are an ethnic
So kindly like, subscribe, share, follow. You're awesome and you're amazing.
extremist, you're saying their concerns don't mean anything to you?
I am not saying they are not. I am saying it's not 100% Gen Zs who think I'm tribal. Many of them think I am a great leader, I'm a nationalist. And that's when you come to my meetings, it's full of Gen Zs. And I actually give them a chance to speak. But that does not mean that girl has no right to speak. She has a right to have a contrary opinion. I'm a Democrat myself. I cannot force her to say that I'm a nationalist. If she thinks I'm not a nationalist, she's entitled to her own opinion.
Right. So
but I did draw her attention to the fact that Gen Zs back at home, are my people, they are my supporters, because they understand me and they know that I'm not tribal. It's only that that narrative has been driven, and her being away and not knowing what is going on here in Kenya when she's in the States, she has bought that narrative. But I did persuade her that that is not the case.
Okay, so you believe the people of Mount Kenya are very central to the country's economy?
All Kenyans are central to the economic development of our country. But the people of Mount Kenya, like all other Kenyans, play an important role. And
you said central, because there's a difference between a central role and an important role. Not everybody can be at the center, right?
I'm saying central means that they are very, very, very instrumental in business. You know, if you go wherever town you go in this country, they are there doing business with other Kenyans. And therefore, they are central in that wherever town you go, if you go to Garissa, you find them there. If you go to Mombasa, you find them there. If you go to Malindi, you find them there. If you go to Leptoktok, you find there. And they live well with other Kenyans, and they do business with other Kenyans, and they are really appreciated by other Kenyans. So they do play a central role in Kenya's economic development, in that they are in every part of this country doing business.
All right. It is for this reason that some of your party members felt you should be impeached.